Hello everyone. Recently you would have seen there have been state-of-the-art neural language generation models. These models have exhibited excellent generation capabilities. The text generated by these SOTA models still doesn't come close to the way humans communicate, as these models lack emotional flavor. I am Tushar, and along with my colleagues in this talk, we will present our work which attempts to adapt the SOTA language generation models to generate affective text. Let us begin by understanding what we mean by affect. Affect refers to the spectrum of personal reactions or feelings that we experience. It covers the category of emotion being experienced by an individual, as well as the intensity with which he or she is expressing or experiencing that emotion. For practical purposes, we use the terms affect and emotion interchangeably and don't differentiate between them for the scope of this project. Emotions are fairly complex phenomena, and there are different ways of presenting emotions, and researchers over the years have proposed many different schemes. We use the representation proposed by Robert Plutchik. As per Robert Plutchik, there are 8 basic emotions: anger, anticipation, joy, trust, fear, surprise, sadness, and disgust, as illustrated in the image on the right. For each emotion category, different words express different intensity of that emotion. Our model is based on the 8 basic emotion categories proposed by Plutchik. Recently, state-of-the-art language generation models have been proposed, which are based on transformers. One such model is the GPT-2. The goal is to make sure that the generated text makes logical sense and is grammatically correct. A major drawback of these models is that they fail to account for affect explicitly in the generated sentences. Thus, even though the sentences are grammatically correct, they are bland and monotonous. This can also be seen in the generated text examples on the right. In this work, we attempt to overcome this limitation by incorporating affect into the state-of-the-art language generation models. There are several examples that shed light on the importance of affect-driven language generation. Some of them have been shown here. Chatbots and conversational AI systems can present empathetic responses by accounting for the appropriate emotion and intensity. Affect can also be useful for advertisement generation, robot learning, and narrative generation. Previous attempts have been made for generating affective language. One of the best performing models is AffectLM by Sayan Ghosh and colleagues in 2017. AffectLM is a generative model based on LSTM-based architecture. A prompt along with desired emotional intensity is given as input. The model generates a response word by word conditioned on the input prompt, emotion, and its intensity. AffectLM provides the option of selecting from 4 affect categories, and the affect intensity can vary from 0 to infinity. AffectLM has certain limitations that we discuss here. As mentioned earlier, AffectLM is based on LSTM architecture. For the purpose of language generation, transformer-based architectures like GPT-2 have shown better performance. Consequently, AffectLM many times struggles to generate grammatically correct sentences. Moreover, AffectLM is limited to just 4 emotions and has a narrow coverage of human emotions. Another major limitation of AffectLM is that the grammatical correctness of the sentence depreciates as we increase the affect intensity. This can be seen in the examples generated by AffectLM on the right. For example, at affect intensity 5, we have the city lost jobs, losing jobs, and lost jobs. We have chosen the prompt as the city, the emotion as sadness, and increase the knob value from 0 to 5. The grammatical correctness reduces, and we notice that the model tends to repeat the same words in order to increase the affect intensity. As we will show later, our model addresses these limitations and performs better, both in terms of qualitative and quantitative metrics. We've used AffectLM as our baseline model. I would now like to hand over to my colleague Ishika, who will talk about the model proposed by us.
Thanks, Tushar. Recently, Gayan and colleagues have introduced a technique for generating images conditioned on an attribute. They call it plug-and-play generative networks. Technically, they try to model the distribution Px given A, where X is the generated image and A is the attribute. They use a base generation model Px and an attribute-based discriminator Pa given X, which classifies the generated image among the attribute classes. This GAN setup provides a required attribute condition model, that is Px given A. Plug-and-play language model, or PPLM, by Dathatri and colleagues have repurposed the approach by Gayan et al. To model attribute-conditioned language generation. In this context, Px is an unconditional language generation model, and Pa given X is an attribute model, which can be an attribute classifier or have a bag of words representation for the attribute. Here, Pt A given X is a probability that tth word during the generation belongs to the attribute category A, and Ptx is a probability that tth word is a grammatically correct occurrence. To learn the parameters of the model, alternating optimization for each of the probability distributions is performed. As illustrated in this figure, there is an ascent towards higher attribute probability, followed by ascent towards a more dramatically optimum distribution. PPLM performs attribute-based generation with GPT-2 as the base model. The attributes are a set of topic categories, such as politics, science, etc., represented by bag of words, and two sentiment categories, positive and negative, incorporated by a sentiment classifier. Influence of topic and effect on the generated sentences can be controlled using the step size of a gradient descent step. We will talk more about this in detail later. Here are some examples of the generated text by PPLM. As you can see, under the positive sentiment attribute, it generates "I feel so much more at ease and happy." And for the negative sentiment, it gives "I feel so bad for the guy in this story," and so on. PPLM is limited to only two sentiments and doesn't deal with varied emotions like anger, fear, joy, etc. In PPLM, grammatical correctness depreciates as intensity is increased. For example, under positive emotion, at 0.5 and 1 intensity, it is generating some random characters and incoherent text. Using the idea of attribute-based language models, we propose a model which generates text conditioned on a particular affect category. Our choice of affect categories is based on the earlier elaborated 8 emotions model proposed by Platschik. Our model can easily adapt to any other emotion representation as well. Intuitively, an emotion cannot be captured just by a discrete category, but there is also a necessary degree to which it is expressed or perceived. Hence, we propose to generate text based on a given emotion category as well as its intensity. We utilize human annotated NRC emotion intensity lexicon for incorporating affect attribute and intensity in our model. It provides real valued intensity scores for around 10,000 words belonging to the 8 emotions. The intensity values range from 0 to 1, 1 being highly belonging to the category and 0 being neutral of the category. This figure is a snapshot of this dataset. We have also preserved the choice of topics from PPLM to see interesting control generation results. Let us now understand how our model works. Given a based language generation model, for example in our case it is GPT-2, it generates text given a prompt. Now we want to condition the language generation on a topic, say technology. We sample out the probabilities corresponding to the bag of words of the technology topic. Next, to condition the language generation on an affect category, say joy, we extract the bag of word probabilities corresponding to joy taken from NRC lexicon. The emotion intensity control can vary from 0 to 1 using the knob beta. To control the emotion intensity, we use a Gaussian function which rescales the probabilities over the bag of words. The Gaussian function combined with affect bag of word probabilities increases the probability of the words with intensity values as defined by the knob. After getting these attribute representations, we form an appropriate loss function to perturb the base generator's history embeddings via a gradient descent. We do it in such a way that we get a sufficiently perturbed distribution. Sampling the next word from this distribution is similar to sampling from Px given A, which we saw earlier. For example, for the intensity value of 0, we get Once Upon a Time, Episode 2, and so on. For intensity value of 0.6, we get Once Upon a Time, There Was a Game That Was So Great. For the intensity value 1, we get Once Upon a Time, There Was a Game That Was So Fun, so much fun. We can easily see that the perturbation is inducing the selected attribute, that is joy, varying in intensity as per the control knob. Now we'll hand over to Ehsan to explain the theory behind this workflow.
Thanks, Ishika. GPT-2 is a transformer-based model that generates a word conditioned on the previous words. Mathematically, GPT-2 takes as input the token ST and history matrix HT time step T as shown in equation 1. History matrix HT consists of the key value pairs of all the layers of the transformer generated at all time steps from 0 to T. It returns the updated history matrix HT plus 1 and the logic vector OT plus 1. The logic vector is then linearly transformed to the vocabulary space by a matrix multiplication with the learned matrix W as shown in equation 2. The softmax of the resultant is then used to get PT plus 1, which is the probability distribution of the tokens, from which the next token ST plus 1 is sampled. For topic conditioned text generation, the PPLM model proposed perturbation of the history matrix before generation of each token. The history matrix is perturbed using gradient descent by minimizing the loss accounting for the conditional text as shown in equation 3. The perturbed history matrix along with the last generated token is used to generate the updated history matrix and the logic vector. which is then used to generate the next word of the conditioned sentence. Let's look at how the loss is defined for effective text generation. The loss has three terms: the KL divergence loss, the topic loss, and the effect loss. The KL divergence loss keeps the perturbed probability distribution close to the actual one, hence ensuring the grammatical correctness of the generated sentence. The topic loss ensures that the generated sentence belongs to the given topic. It is defined as a negative log of sum of bag of words probabilities corresponding to the words associated with the given topic. Minimizing this term increases the probability of words belonging to the given topic. The effect loss is similarly defined as a negative log of scaled probabilities of words which belongs to the desired effect. The scaling is done by taking the inner product of the bag of words probabilities with the Gaussian over the effect intensities with a mean beta, which is the knob value. This loss increases the probability of words which belongs to the given effect and whose effect intensity is close to the knob value. Let's look at a demo of effective text generation using the proposed model. Let's generate a sentence with topic science, affect joy, affect intensity 0, and prompt there exists. The model generated there exists a certain type of music that has a certain sound to it. I believe it is a sound that is made up from the vibration of the molecules. Let's try increasing the effect intensity to 0.7. Now the model generated there exists a certain type of music that has a certain appeal to me. I like things which are beautiful and complex, and so enjoy music that has meaning. We see that this sentence is more joyful compared to the previous sentence. Let's try to increase the effect intensity further to 1. Now the model generated a similar sentence, but now it says, I like things which are beautiful and exciting, and enjoy excitement which comes with the music. We see that this sentence is even more joyful. I'll now hand over to Ishika to see how our model performs on various evaluations.
Thanks, Hassan. We evaluate our model both qualitatively and quantitatively via human and automated evaluations respectively. As there is no standard dataset for effective text, we evaluate our model using the following methods. Human evaluations included 3 tasks. Task 1 and 2 were about sentence emotion classification with 3 and 8 emotion classes respectively. Task 3 was aimed to study the grammatical correctness and perceived intensity with varying knob control. Quantitative evaluations included perceived emotion intensity and grammatical correctness of the generated text, performed using the affective norms model and perplexity respectively. We compared our model with Affect-LM on common emotion categories, that is sadness, anger, and positive emotion, assuming that joy class of our model is a subset of positive class of Affect-LM. The annotators were presented with text snippets from these 3 emotion classes generated by 2 models, that is Affect-LM and our model. The annotators were blind to the source of the generated text. The sentences uniformly belong to 3 intensity values, beta equals to 1, 2, 3 for Affect-LM and 0.4, 0.6, 1 for our model. From the emotion classification results, compared to Affect-LM for 3 emotions, our model seems to reflect emotions better at all intensity values. We also evaluated our model via a similar task, that is 8 emotions classification, for which we get low scores yet much higher than random predictions across 8 classes. There would have been misclassifications due to a close association of the emotion classes such as sadness disgust, anger disgust, or joy surprise. For task 3 in human evaluations, the annotators were given a set of 6 sentences from all 3 models and were informed about the input emotion category of each set. They were asked to rate the grammatical correctness for each sentence on a 7-point Likert scale and also to rank these sentences from 1 to 6 based on the relative intensity of the emotion expressed, 6 being the highest intensity rank. From human ratings for grammatical correctness, where a higher value implies better, it's evident that the grammatical correctness of our model remains constant at a decently high value in comparison to both the baselines. We received comments from the annotators where they conveyed that the sentences from one model lack an overall structure and do not convey any coherent meaning, even though the texts were from a conversational context, as reflected in figure E for Affect-LM. From human intensity perception rankings, we see that our model manipulates emotional intensity explicitly for certain emotions and subtly for the remaining emotions. Due to limited time, we have covered a select number of results in this talk. Please refer to our paper for more evaluations and their complete details. In summary, our model is able to generate meaningful affect conditioned text and ensures grammaticality even at higher intensities. Thanks for watching, and please check out our paper for more details.